Remember when gaming was an escape, not just a grind? When you could lose yourself in a captivating story and feel like developers cared about players rather than profits? Nowadays, it feels like every game is a relentless push for your wallet, stripping away the joy that once defined our experiences. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of this disturbing trend, examining how microtransactions, corporate greed, and rushed development have drained the soul from gaming, and if there is still hope to save what we once loved. Join me as we explore the rise and fall of an industry that seems to have forgotten what made it magical in the first place. Gaming used to be about unlocking content through skill and dedication. Every achievement you earned felt personal because it was the result of your effort. There was a real sense of accomplishment in discovering new characters, skins, and maps just by playing the game. But now, that thrill is often replaced by a choice: pay for it or grind endlessly. At first, microtransactions seemed harmless, cosmetic items or boosts that didn't affect gameplay. But over time, they've become something much bigger, changing the way games are designed. What was once about earning rewards is now often about paying to skip the grind or unlock content you used to earn through play. When microtransactions first appeared, they seemed innocent enough. They were mostly cosmetic, character skins, unique outfits, just fun little extras to personalize your experience. If you didn't want to spend money, it didn't really matter. You could still enjoy the full game without missing much, but that innocence didn't last. Microtransactions quickly evolved into something far more intrusive. Pay-to-win mechanics began to creep in, allowing players to rank up their characters or strengthen their teams by purchasing player packs, skill boosts, or in-game currency with real money. Then came time-gated content, missions and rewards locked behind paywalls, leaving players with a choice: wait endlessly or pay to move forward. And this is where things started to unravel. Progression systems became slower, grindier, and more frustrating, intentionally designed to nudge players toward the in-game store. Rewards that used to feel like achievements were now locked behind premium passes, turning what should have been a game into a relentless cycle of spending. Microtransactions weren't just extras anymore. They became a way to dictate how and how much time you spent grinding. What started as a simple way to fund a free-to-play model turned into something far more insidious. Microtransactions became a cash cow for gaming companies and their executives. Instead of being a way to enhance the game, they became the primary tool to drive profits. The focus shifted from crafting complete and fulfilling experiences for players to designing systems engineered to maximize revenue. It wasn't about improving the game anymore. It was about extracting as much money as possible, regardless of the impact on player satisfaction. This shift marked the beginning of a deeper issue. Corporate greed took control, pushing the industry toward profit-driven models that prioritized financial gain over the player experience. Corporate greed in the gaming industry is often driven by top executives focused on immediate profits. Their main concern is the bottom line and pleasing shareholders, which leads to decisions prioritizing short-term revenue over long-term creativity or innovation. This shift has drastically changed the types of games being released. Instead of fostering new, unique game designs, executives push for safe, marketable releases that promise quick returns. This results in predictable sequels, remakes, and games with monetized features intended to drive profits, regardless of player experience. The focus on fast profits has also meant that many games are streamlined, sacrificing depth and quality for quicker, more marketable releases. World building, narrative, and overall creativity take a back seat to sales-driven decisions. As a result, the gaming landscape has shifted. What we're left with are games that fit a formula, designed to maximize profits instead of delivering lasting, creative experiences for players. Corporate greed in the gaming industry has also led to another troubling shift: the exploitation of players. As executives prioritize profits, they often overlook the well-being of their audience, designing games that manipulate player behavior rather than enrich their experience. Players are now treated as a resource to be maximized. Games are engineered to keep players hooked, often with addictive progression systems, limited time events, and artificial scarcity. This is designed to encourage constant engagement, pushing players to spend more time and money on the game, even when it feels like they're not receiving a complete or fulfilling experience. Exploitation takes many forms, whether it's creating an environment where players feel compelled to keep grinding, or preying on their desire for achievement by using psychology-driven mechanics. These tactics exploit player emotions and vulnerabilities, leaving them feeling like they need to keep playing to progress or compete. Instead of delivering games that respect players' time and enjoyment, many companies now see players as a tool for profit, using manipulation to maximize engagement and revenue. The cost of this approach is a gaming experience that prioritizes exploitation over the satisfaction and enjoyment of the player. Corporate greed doesn't stop at profit margins. It's influencing every facet of gaming. From the types of games released to how they're marketed and supported, every decision is designed to serve the bottom line. But this relentless focus on revenue is taking a toll on both developers and the games themselves. Quality is often sacrificed, leaving developers scrambling to meet impossible deadlines, resulting in games that feel incomplete or unpolished. This relentless drive for profits has paved the way for one of the most damaging trends in modern gaming: rushed development. Let's take a closer look at how these practices have turned once beloved releases into cautionary tales. There was a time when games felt like carefully crafted works of art, polished, complete, and built to stand the test of time. Developers poured years into perfecting their creations, ensuring every detail was just right before releasing them to the world. But today, that standard has crumbled under the weight of corporate demands and strict deadlines. In the rush to meet ambitious release schedules, quality is often sacrificed, and players are left with games that feel more like unfinished products than the immersive experiences they were promised. This shift isn't just a disappointment. It's a symptom of an industry driven by speed and profits over care and precision. In today's gaming industry, developers often face unrealistic timelines set by publishers. Shareholders and executives prioritize hitting release dates, seeing them as essential for maximizing profits, especially during peak seasons. This pressure forces developers to release games before they're fully ready. The focus isn't on enhancing the player experience, but on capitalizing on short-term gains. As a result, games often launch unfinished, riddled with bugs and missing key features. Developers are left with a tough choice: rush the game or risk disappointing both the publisher and the players. The trend of relying on post-launch patches and updates to fix issues has become increasingly common in recent years. This strategy places the risk squarely on the players, who are expected to pay full price for a product that isn't complete. Gamers are left with a sense of frustration as they encounter bugs, missing features, or unpolished gameplay, only to be told that these issues will be fixed later. This approach not only damages the player experience, but also tarnishes a game's reputation. Fans begin to lose trust in developers, and the overall impact on the game's long-term success can be devastating. The rush to meet deadlines has a ripple effect on every part of game development. Players end up with unfinished products, developers are forced to cut corners, and games are released with more problems than they should have. This compromises the entire experience, leading to frustration, poor reviews, and the need for constant updates. In the end, the push for quick releases not only harms the quality of the game, but also damages the long-term trust and reputation between players and developers. As the gaming industry continues down this path of corporate greed and rushed development, it's clear that players are no longer the priority. What was once a world of immersive experiences and genuine passion has been overshadowed by the drive for profit. So, is there any hope for a return to the magic of gaming? Or are we doomed to endure more incomplete, money-hungry titles? The future is uncertain, but one thing's for sure: unless we stop feeding into it, nothing will change. Thanks for watching.